Good morning and welcome to the incoming student question and answer session. I'm Brad Hodson, the Executive Vice President of Missouri Southern, and on behalf of all of the institution's faculty and staff, we'd like to welcome you to the Lion family. We're very excited to have you join us in about a month on campus for the beginning of the fall semester. Let me begin by introducing our panelists this morning. First, we have Tristan Rutledge, who is the Senior Coordinator of Operations and Communications in the Office of Admissions. Tristan will be moderating our session this morning. We also have Darren Fullerton, the Vice President of Student Affairs, and Julie Stamps, the Director of the Wilcoxon Health Center. And finally, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Dean Van Galen. Dr. Van Galen joined Missouri Southern just 2 weeks ago as the 6th president of the institution. He came to us from the University of Wisconsin River Falls, where he served as chancellor for 11 years. Prior to that, Dr. Van Galen had a very distinguished career as an academic and an administrator at Truman State University and the University of West Florida. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Dean Van Galen.
And it's really a pleasure to be with all of you today. Thank you for participating and tuning in. All of us are looking forward to welcoming you to campus, to the Lion family this fall. And I can tell you I'm very excited to be here at Missouri Southern. It's a great university, very student-centered, has a history of success in educating students for citizenship, for jobs, for a career, and for success. So it's great to be here, and I look forward to meeting many of you in the months ahead. With that, I'd like to turn it over to our Vice President for Student Affairs, Mr. Darren Fullerton, who will provide you with some information and what you can look forward to this fall semester.
Thank you, Dr. Van Galen. Let me also give you my welcome. We appreciate you joining us today. We'll cover just a little bit of information. We know that what's going on campus in relation to COVID is on the minds of the students and your families. And so we just wanted to provide you with a brief overview of what's going on campus and direct you to some of our resources so that if you have additional questions, you know where to reach out to us to get the answers to those questions. We have a brief PowerPoint to go through. The task force has been set up for Missouri Southern, includes 18 plus members. We have members that are joining each week. Representatives from academic affairs, student affairs, the administration, our board of governors, student senate, as well as the physical plant and other areas on campus make up the task force to look into how we will reopen safely in the fall and provide the best precautions we can for our students, faculty, and staff. The task force is looking at a variety of different things, including academic class settings, cleaning, sanitizing, disinfecting, social distancing, masks, accommodations for individuals that may become sick, whether that be faculty, staff, or students, and how we will handle all of those as well. Task force is also looking at a variety of factors that will need to be considered. We want to make sure that incoming students realize, as well as our current students, that we all play a role in keeping the campus safe. And to that end, we have implied many of the rules and regulations or precautions from the CDC to help us keep the campus safe and provide you with a quality student experience. Couple of the things, we're working on a COVID policy that's an overarching policy for the entire campus. We want to make sure that people know that Missouri Southern is not creating policies on their own. We are working in collaboration with the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the Joplin Health Department, as well as the Missouri Health and Senior Services Department. We're looking for their guidance and operations, as well as in cooperation with the federal government and the state of Missouri. Missouri Southern has initiated a mask policy, which started July 13th. All students, faculty, and staff, contractors, vendors, and visitors to the campus are expected to wear masks or face coverings while they're on campus, including in the classrooms. Mask or face coverings are also expected to be worn in office spaces and outdoor spaces where physical distancing is difficult to maintain. Again, a safety precaution that we encourage all of our campus participants to help us in this initiative. With the mask policy, wearing a face mask is not required if you're in a personal office or alone in a space or in a space where distancing is managed. There are some exceptions to the face covering policy, and we would direct you to Missouri Southern's homepage and look for the COVID-19 link for updated information and the exceptions to that policy, which include individuals with respiratory illness or distress, as well as other factors. The mask policy also indicates that Missouri Southern will be providing 2 cloth face coverings to all students, faculty, and staff before the fall 2020 semester begins. Interim measures are being taken for those individuals that are on campus for the summer term, or if you're an incoming student that needs to arrive early due to one of the special groups that bring students in early, athletics, band, so on. There are masks available, and you would need to check with your sponsor on the locations for picking up those masks. For current summer employees and student employees, they can be picked up at the Beimdick Recreation Center in Billingsley Student Center. Some of the preparations that we have taken for the fall semester, we've also talked about masks and social distancing. As far as cleaning and sanitizing and disinfecting, some of the things that we have done to this point, we've installed over 200 hand sanitizing stations all throughout the campus. Missouri Southern's custodial team is continuing to clean and disinfect. They're making sure that for the fall semester, we have plans and supplies in each of the buildings and the classrooms so that we will be able to maintain a clean environment and a safe environment for our students, faculty, and staff as well. Academic class modifications. This is probably one of the questions that we received the most response to. Our faculty have been asked by academic affairs to look at options for the particular classes. That may be moving to a larger class, modifying or alternating the attendance. You will hear terms such as hybrid or high flex, which means a hybrid flexible model, which could include some students attending on Monday, Wednesday, some attending on Tuesday, Thursday, and a variety of different models for those class participations. Most of our classes will have some sort of online component, whether that is the course syllabus, the PowerPoints, or lectures from the class to be able to assist our students. In addition, we have modified most of our student support services. We will still be providing face-to-face services for these areas, but tutoring, advising, career services, counseling, Title IX, all of those areas also are ready to serve our students in a modified or online format as well. Residence halls have also had some modifications. The institution is capping our occupancy, and we will be keeping some apartments for isolation. There will be some apartments in the traditional men's and women's residence halls that will not have roommates, and then we have modified some of the numbers in the apartment and or suite style residence as well. If you have questions on that, please contact the Residence Life at Missouri Southern. Outside rentals and external events, to limit the number of individuals and visitors coming to campus that don't need to be here on a day-to-day basis, Missouri Southern has stopped external rentals for the fall semester so that we can focus on our students. With that, we would open it up to questions, and I know we've had some pre-populated questions, and so I would turn it over to Tristan Rutledge for the question and answer session.
Thank you, Darren. We'll hop right into it with a question for you. The question is, if it becomes necessary, would the university consider moving some classes online and allowing some to finish face-to-face, such as labs, biology, and chemistry?
That's a great question, and that is being discussed with academic affairs. Right now, all of those options are on the table, and depending on the situation, as we know, the COVID situation is ever changing, and so we are trying to make plans now for 2, 3, 4, or 5 months down the road. And so we have asked academic affairs to provide options for all of those areas. We do know that many of the upper division classes and or the health sciences classes do need to be face-to-face. And so we're trying to make sure that we have options for completing that in this semester.
This question just came in live, and it kind of relates to that. When will we know if our classes have selected a hybrid or in-class option?
I would anticipate most of the classes will have some sort of hybrid, but as of right now, what's posted online will indicate whether that class is a face-to-face class and or an online component.
Thank you. Dr. Van Galen, this question is for you. What drew you to apply for this position, and what attracted you to Missouri Southern?
That's a great question. I appreciate it. I've known about Missouri Southern for many, many years. As Dr. Hodson mentioned, I was at Truman State University in Kirksville, and even during that time, I learned about Missouri Southern, including their international theme within their mission, and that Joplin was a really growing and dynamic part of the state of Missouri. So there's some history there, and when this opportunity arose, it seemed like a very good fit. I really believe in a university that is centered on students. It provides those great opportunities, and also that international mission is very attractive to me. I believe that when students study abroad or they interact with international students, or even in the curriculum or the themed semester that is part of the Missouri Southern practice, that's really a life-changing type experience. So those are some of the factors. And then when I came here to interview and learn more, both Mary, my wife, and I became even more excited. So we are delighted to be part of the Missouri Southern family.
Thank you. This next question is an admissions question. So the question is, are campus tours still available? Absolutely. We do ask that you wear a mask because that is the policy. But we have 2 times available each day of the week. Right now we're operating on summer hours, so those days are Monday through Thursday at 9:30 in the morning and also at 1:30 in the afternoon. The links to sign up for tours are on our main site. Just click visit, sign up, and we'd love to have you on campus. The next question is for you, Julie. Is Wilcoxon Health Center staffed, prepared, and equipped to test, diagnose, and treat students with COVID-19?
Yes, we are. We started our testing capabilities in May. We're looking at ways that we can expand those options. One of the situations with every institution throughout the nation looking at reopening is timeliness of testing. So we're looking at capabilities within local hospitals and regions so that we're able to ensure that we'll have results back in a timely fashion for students. We do review the CDC guidelines for testing. So again, we do have the staff, we do have the testing supplies, and we are able to perform testing services at this time.
Awesome, thank you. Darren, I think you're probably the right person for this question, and this just came in live as well. Will classrooms have 6 feet social distancing as recommended by the CDC?
As of right now, we are asking academic affairs to try to maintain that social distancing. That will mean some of our larger classes moving to larger spaces, such as a lecture hall, auditorium, and those sort of things. But they are looking at social distancing. As an extra precaution, we are asking students to wear masks in class, and we are also taking precautions with the faculty. We are looking at clear face shields or clear masks for the faculty, as well as plexiglass at the front of the classroom so that we have additional distance between the faculty member and the students. So yes, we are using social distancing in the classroom.
To add on to that, I know that I believe having a conversation with Dr. Paula Carson, our provost, in between each class, there will be a custodian that comes in and sanitizes and disinfects. And then at the end of each day, there will be a more thorough cleaning of the classrooms. Is that correct?
The physical plant will do a thorough cleaning at the beginning and end of each day. With the nature of the classes and the classes being so close together, more than likely the faculty will have to have some role in sanitizing in between classes. But there will be supplies in each classroom to make sure that they do get disinfected before the start of each class.
Thank you. Dr. Van Galen, this one's for you. How will you approach getting to know the campus in a COVID-19 environment?
I'm certainly looking forward to that, and it is a different environment. I think there are really two ways to get to know a campus, and really to get to know a campus means to understand the history, the culture, and the people. One way is formally, and so I look forward to interacting with Student Senate as an example, student clubs, organizations being present on campus. But also I think it's important to get to know a campus informally. And what that means is walking around and talking to people. Related to students, I'm very much looking forward to that activity, just having a chat or a cup of coffee with students in the student center, or just meeting them informally out on campus, or attending athletic events. So I think it's really all about getting out there, being engaged, being part of the campus. And as I mentioned, I'm very excited about that. I've met a few students already, both in my time on campus, and then I'll mention some really great activities called the hometown tours, in which students have invited me to go to their hometowns for part of a morning or afternoon to learn about where they come from, where their story is, where they live, and why they chose Missouri Southern. And already I've been just amazed to hear their stories and the difference that our faculty and staff had made in many of their lives. So I've been to Carthage, Carl Junction so far. I mentioned I went to Randy's Drive-In and Carl Junction, which was really a great time with one of our students. So I plan to visit Joplin, of course, and Webb City, Baxter Springs, Rogers, Neosho. And to me, that's another way to get to know not just our campus, but our community, and also to get a perspective on our students in terms of where do they come from and what's important to them. So those are some of the ways that I'll be looking to do that in the months ahead.
Thank you. Dr. Hodson, this question is for you. Simple, right to the point. Are there any scholarships left?
Absolutely. There are scholarships left, both university scholarships and private scholarships offered by donors through the foundation. If you are interested in financial aid, I encourage you first to fill out the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, which is online, and then also visit our financial aid office, which is on the first floor of Hearns Hall. The great folks in financial aid can help guide you through that process and direct you towards the scholarships that might still be available to help fund your college career.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question is loops back around to tours, and the question came in, are campus tours also offered in an online platform? And the answer is yes. We have virtual tours set up. Again, those are differentiated between our normal on-campus tours on our website. So you can sign up for virtual tours, which are going to be hosted by a member of our recruiting team, and then also have a component from one of our academic programs. So that is a great question, and the answer is yes. We want you to come here if you can, but we also offer that virtual option as well. Next question is, will we be able to make up classwork if we are put into isolation for 2 weeks? Darren?
Great question. We have been working with academic affairs and all of the faculty to make sure that they are prepared for accommodations for students. We know at any given time, students will need to be out of class for a variety of reasons, not just COVID. And so the faculty will be expected to work with those students. We will work directly with the health center on campus. So any of those students that do have to be in isolation or quarantine, we will send out notifications. In the student affairs office, we do ask if a student is ill for whatever reason for more than 2 days and you're going to miss class for more than 2 days. First off, contact your professors and stay in good communication with them. But then also reach out to the student affairs office. We will also send emails to all of your faculty, just verifying that you have been in conversation with us so that we can assist in making sure that they are providing the accommodations if you do have to miss class for those reasons.
All right. Dr. Van Galen, this question is for you. What goals do you have for Missouri Southern?
Well, I've been here 3 weeks, so I certainly have a great deal to learn. But a couple perspectives on that. The university, as I mentioned, has a great foundation, a history of success, and I want to build on that. Part of our strategic plan includes focusing on student success, and I do believe that the mission of the university, everything we do starts and ends with students. How can we provide students with a great student experience that is engaging, that helps them pursue their goals and dreams? And really everything we do, the faculty, the staff, the facilities, we're all about celebrating, promoting, supporting student success. So that's really where I start from as an educator and a leader. I do think there are opportunities over time in the area of what are often called high impact practices, which are educational practices often beyond the classroom to engage students, to help them succeed. Part of the university's current strategic plan includes providing more opportunities for undergraduate research. That is, opportunities for students to work with faculty across the entire campus to engage in research projects. It's a great way to learn more about your discipline, your academic program, to build a mentoring relationship with faculty and be prepared for the future, whether it be a career or continuing on to graduate school or professional school. The other high impact practice I would cite is study abroad. And this campus has a national reputation for the way that it supports internationalization across the campus. And I've seen, and I've taught some study abroad courses, I've seen the impact that those experiences can have on students and people. It broadens one's perspective. It gives you a sense of your own upbringing, your own values, who you are, and really opens your eyes to the world. And over time, I'd love to have the university find ways to provide those opportunities for even more of our students.
Thank you. This next question is an admissions question, and it's one that our recruiters are getting quite a bit. Do I still have to take the ACT even though I was admitted and enrolled without scores? We made an exception at the beginning of the pandemic that we were going to be accepting students that might have not taken the ACT because they weren't able to because of COVID-19. And so the answer is yes, you will still be expected to take the ACT and submit ACT scores. You are already enrolled. If you do not submit an ACT score, there will be a hold put on your account, and you will not be able to enroll for the next semester. We do offer the national test here at Missouri Southern, but we also offer what's called a residual ACT. It's administered through our advising, counseling, and testing office. That test is only good here at Missouri Southern, and you get the results almost immediately by the next day. So if you're not able to sign up for a national ACT date, we recommend that you look at our ACT residual and take that through our advising, counseling, and testing office. So more to come on that. Dr. Hodson, I have a question for you. And this is a live one that just came in. So what sets Missouri Southern apart from other universities?
I think one of the things that sets us apart, and Dr. Van Galen mentioned it, is our international mission and how that is infused through our campus. And as an incoming student, you might not be quite sure how that's going to impact you, but once you get here and you experience the campus, you look at the study abroad opportunities, you experience a theme semester, I think that really does distinguish us from other campuses that don't have that opportunity to explore the world and learn more about yourself and about other cultures. Also, this is a very intimate campus. It is a family. We know each other. We call each other by our first names. The class sizes are small. You will know your faculty member. And other institutions may say that, and I've had the opportunity to work in many other places, but I found that to really be true here at Missouri Southern. And as an alum, I can reflect back on my own experience at Missouri Southern, and I still have contact today with Mr. Terry Marion, who was my advisor and a faculty member, because we did build that bond as a student and a faculty member. Aside from that, we have some fantastic academic programs, particularly in the health sciences, that are unique and not found at other institutions. And so I would encourage you, if you want to explore any of those more deeply, visit the admissions office, come by for a campus tour. We'll set you up with a faculty member in an area that interests you and let you explore all those options one-on-one and really get off to a great start as a Lion here at Missouri Southern.
Thank you. The question has been answered, and we will be wearing masks in the classroom. The question that just came in has to do with that, and it is, what will happen if a classmate refuses to wear a mask in class?
Well, again, with the mask policy, there are some exemptions on there. And so the first thing that we will need to do is to have those students that are seeking an exemption work with our Disability Services Office on campus to make sure that we know that they are requesting the exemption from that. Then our approach will be to try to change the culture and to educate our students, faculty, and staff that we're wearing the mask to protect each other. And so again, we want to take the educational approach more than a punitive approach. So we will be talking to students and having that educational component, as well as working with the Disability Services Office for those that cannot wear masks. We do encourage people not to make judgments that someone is just refusing to make a mask without knowing for sure that they meet one of those exceptions.
Thank you. Dr. Van Galen, this one is a big question. So we have heard that Missouri Southern will be dealing with budget cuts from the state. How will these cuts be handled? And what is your philosophy when dealing with issues like this?
So like every university, we are dealing with budget cuts. You know, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted every part of our life, and certainly at universities, Missouri Southern, it's had a significant impact on our budget because of decline in state revenue. So we are, going through that process of how best do we handle these reductions in budget on our own campus today. We have a town hall meeting this afternoon to try to engage people and keep them informed. What are some of the principles that we want to look at as we do this? Certainly a focus on our mission and our strategic plan. And what that really means is to be sure we think about and understand the choices we make and how that impacts students and the quality of their education. That is the core, and that's something we want to protect as much as possible. So I want to convey that to the students that we will have some budget cuts like every university, but you are our priority, our reason for what we do every day. And then I think, beyond that, we do want to face our budget challenges head on. There are universities who kind of choose not to make those difficult choices, and those have even more difficult impacts down the road. So we want to be responsible. We always want to be good stewards of the funds that are provided to us, both from students and their families and the taxpayers of Missouri. And so those are our commitments. But in the end, I think having that perspective of lens of what are the impacts on our students really will help us with the difficult decisions that we'll need to make.
Thank you. This question pertains to transfer students. If I'm transferring in, how many of the 120 credit hours will I need to complete at Missouri Southern? So you have to complete your last 30 hours here on campus, and 39 of your 120 hours must be upper division. So that kind of factors into how many classes you have to take here as well. If you don't have 39 hours of upper division, then you might have to pick up a couple more. So there might be over 30 that you complete here on Missouri Southern. But your last 30 at least has to be completed here at Missouri Southern if you're transferring in. So then the next question I have is for Darren, and it is a question that I think it pertains to COVID and when we go back to some sort of normal routine. And is it possible for me to take all of my classes online?
Absolutely. Missouri Southern offers a wide variety of classes and even have select programs where it's possible to get your entire degree online. And so many of our students are taking a combination of online and face-to-face. Some students that are living a distance away have chosen to take online. So we encourage you to either reach out to your academic advisor or to reach out to the Advising, Counseling, and Testing Center here at Missouri Southern, and they can assist you with that if you need to make alterations to your schedule. But we should be able to accommodate the majority of the programs with some sort of online format.
Thank you. Julie, can you speak about how contract tracing works on campus, and will we be notified if a classmate or professor has tested positive?
So currently we're looking, excuse me, looking into programs that the students would opt in to use an app that they're able to number one, assess their symptoms of the day. So we do already ask on our website, you can find a screening form. So Darren had mentioned earlier, for us to have a successful fall semester, we need students and faculty and staff that are sick to stay home. And how you determine whether you're well and able to come to campus, there are screening tools available. That goes back to a little bit with the contact tracing app though. So in the morning time, I actually am not real tech savvy with apps, but I can do the app myself. You check your temperature at home. You answer the questions and they're short. It took me less than 15 seconds to complete it. And then you get a green light that you can come to campus. You get a yellow light that kind of tells you, oh, you need to contact somebody and ask some questions. And then there's some situations where you get a red light that tells you, please stay home. Still contact people, but do not come to campus at this time. And then as far as the contact tracing, it's based off of where your scheduled classes are and how you're having contact within campus. So one of the things is, yes, you will be contacted, but we need to make sure that students' privacy, faculty's privacy still maintained. So there are different ways that we're looking at this. We also work in conjunction with the local health departments, and this is where contact tracing gets a little more complicated. Even though the university falls within Joplin City Health Department, the contact tracing actually starts from the health department where you reside. So if you live in Newton County, then the county health department will actually be doing the health tracing from Newton County in conjunction with the city health department and the health center.
Thank you, Julie. Brad, Dr. Hodson, this is a question for you. A student is interested in working on campus. What type of positions are available? Are there work-study programs? And how can I apply, and what are the deadlines?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There are positions available on campus. It's a great way for you to connect with campus, to get to know some of the faculty and staff that work here at the university, maybe outside your major. It's also a great way to get some work experience for your resume as you think about applying for internships and eventually employment after graduation. There are work-study programs here on campus. The Financial Aid Office coordinates our on-campus employment, but I would encourage you to visit our main website, mssu.edu, and then search for Hire a Lion, and all of the open positions are listed there on that website. There is no specific deadline. They're rolling applications, and so if there's a position listed there, you're welcome to apply for it. But I would encourage you to visit that website, and if you have specific questions, the great folks in financial aid would be happy to help you.
Thank you. Darren, you've kind of already touched on this, but I think they want to elaborate a little bit more on this. Will there be changes to campus housing arrangements to pursue social distancing, such as limiting the number of people per bedroom, restroom, or common area?
Yes to all the above. The housing will cap their capacity. We still are accepting residents right now. But they do have a limit, and so we encourage students to get your housing reservation in. There have been some modifications to the bedroom spaces. Some residents will have roommates, some will not have roommates. We are limiting and social distancing in the common areas that are used by the residence hall students, such as the different entries of the buildings, the lounges in the buildings, the dining hall, the laundry facilities, and so on. We also are requiring social distancing in the residence halls. We are limiting visitors to the residence halls as well, and then do require masks in areas where you can't social distance or if you are out in public on the residence hall complex.
Thank you. Dr. Van Galen, this question is for you. Many advanced programs exist on campus where it is detrimental to miss even a day's worth of instruction. What concessions, if any, will be made for students to not attend class if they feel ill?
I'll begin to answer that. The first principle is if a student is ill, please don't come to class. And we are ready to accommodate those situations, working with faculty, working with student affairs, to do our best to ensure a student can continue their education, their academic program, even when they're ill. Part of this will also be addressed or supported by this idea of some of the classes that are listed as face-to-face will have a hybrid or high flex component. And so to kind of go back to that concept, you might enroll in a face-to-face class, and for example, it's a Tuesday, Thursday class. Half the class might come to class on Tuesday, half on Thursday, and then there would be some online or virtual component. One of the advantages to taking that approach from day one in the semester is you form not only a in-person face-to-face community, but also a virtual community. So as conditions change throughout the semester, potentially the instructor is able to kind of the dial of how much in-face or hybrid or online component there is to the course. That approach also helps students who may become ill, who need to rely more on virtual instruction throughout the semester. I do know that Darren Fullerton has been involved in a lot of those conversations as well. So Darren, anything you would like to add that might be helpful, please?
Yeah, I think one of the questions that follows this is, well, what if my faculty member also becomes ill and has to be out? And precautions are in place for that as well. We are talking with the faculty in that area to make sure that they have not just one backup plan, but multiple backup plans, so that if a faculty member is sick, then they can accommodate that. But we are asking the faculty to have multiple options for the students so that we can provide assistance. We do have students, and not just with COVID, as we said earlier, we have students that will become ill with a regular flu or some other ailment and need to be out of a period of time. And so we are encouraging the faculty to work with them the best they can to make up those assignments and activities.
I have another question for you. Darren, I noticed that Missouri Southern has roughly around student organizations. If I don't see the club or organization that I'm interested in, how would I start up my own organization on campus?
That's a great question. We do, and the numbers fluctuate, but we have approximately 80 clubs or organizations. We call them registered student organizations on our campus. The Student Activities Office, which is located here in Billingsley Student Center, sponsors that program and helps students get started with different clubs. If you have an academic major, there will be at least one, if not multiple clubs in your major for that. Other clubs, such as the guitar club, chess club, LARP, things like that, are special interest clubs. And again, having a group of students with an interest, or having a single student, and then they can help you reach out to other students to see if there is an interest. Now, we will encourage students. Dr. Van Galen mentioned earlier student engagement, and that is one of the great things about being on a college campus. That engagement will look a little different this year, but we are not limiting club meetings. We are not postponing club meetings. We are asking clubs to social distance. If they're in spaces where they cannot social distance adequately, they may be wearing masks. So it will look a little bit different, but that crucial engagement piece will still be there. And we do encourage students to contact the Student Activities Office, because we would almost guarantee there is some club that will fit your interest or your academic major. But then, as Tristan said, if not, they can help you start a club. And we probably have 6 to 8 clubs each semester that will come in and get started with a new group.
To kind of piggyback on that, our Greek life, are they planning to do normal rushes for the fall semester?
Absolutely. Right now, they will have to modify their activities, but they have not canceled any of their plans for Greek life, for our fraternities and sororities. And we're working with them. Student Activities and Student Affairs is working with them. They may need to look at changing where they meet to move into a larger space so that they can adequately make sure that they're taking all the precautions necessary. But as of right now, they are still planning a full slate of different activities. Some of the student activities, such as you may have heard of Community Day, those events are usually a face-to-face with 120 plus vendors and several thousand of our students all on the middle part, central part of campus we call the Oval. With the precautions in place, it's not possible to do that this year, so we're doing a virtual Community Day. So the students will still have the opportunity to see what vendors are in the community and take advantage of the different specials that they offer our students every day. just in a virtual format for this semester.
Thank you. Julie, talking about the mask policy, do you know, we've already indicated that this will be in effect for the fall semester. Do you know when there might be an end date for that? Could it go on into the spring semester? What's any indication that you might have about that?
I think one of the things that all of our students and faculty and staff need to realize is this pandemic is affecting us nationwide. I know people want definite dates of when we're going to be able to get back to normal. And that's one thing, honestly, at this time, I can't provide. If the situation is still a hotspot area and we're needing to socially distance and wear masks, it could be that that's the way our area is for several months. We really don't have that information right at this time. And I know as a parent, I also have children in college. It's frustrating because you want to know a plan and you want to know exactly what's going to happen. But just like our public schools at this time, just like our buildings that we enter for business, grocery stores, all of that, things can change on a daily basis. So I do encourage everyone to remain flexible with their thoughts. My goal, and I know the goal of everyone in this room, is for us to be back face-to-face for the fall. Our goal, though, is we want to do that safely. And so at this time, with the CDC guidelines, social distancing, making sure that we're doing adequate hand washing, wearing our masks, those types of things are the best thing that we can do to be back together for the fall.
Thank you. Dr. Van Galen, will some sort of exception be made for students with pre-existing conditions or students who live with those who have pre-existing conditions, such as the option to pursue online classes in lieu of on-campus classes?
So again, I'll take a first crack at that, and then Mr. Fullerton. So we are encouraging people to go to disability services to work with them and work through those types of situations. Darren, I don't know if there's anything else you would add to that.
Yeah, absolutely. We encourage them to start with disability services and see what accommodations might be possible for them. We are also connecting them with the advising staff, either their academic advisor or the advising counseling and testing center. As we said, depending on where they are in their career, what their major is, there may be other options for totally online avenues for the semester if they choose that. For others, there may have to be modifications, and so their advisor can work with them to try to best meet the needs for this semester.
Thank you. The next question is for you, Darren. And is it possible, you've already answered that, I'm sorry. Will the university consider face-to-face options for international students if the university is forced to go online during the semester?
I can take that. I think that question may have came in before the recent ruling. The federal government has rescinded their ruling on the international students, so the international students will not be forced to leave the country if the university is forced to go online. So we think that we will still be able to work with our international students and provide the quality education that they expect from Missouri Southern.
Thank you. Let's see here. Julie, are there any travel restrictions for students and employees? And if so, what do those look like? And if they do travel, is there a quarantine policy for those students who travel into a potential hotspot?
So currently what we have done is consulted with the city health department, the local health departments to set our policies. What we're looking at this point are students that are, or anyone, honestly, that travels internationally prior to the semester beginning. We would like them to be back in our community within 14 days prior to classes beginning. So I know that some people have some very different situations, but one of the things, if we have a student arriving from a country outside of the United States or a territory outside of the continental US, we are needing them to quarantine for 14 days. And that's per CDC and Joplin City Health Department guidelines. As far as the hotspot travel, I will tell you every state's going to have a different policy. If you look at Kansas, they have something different than Missouri does, Oklahoma, multiple states. At this time, Missouri does not have identified states that they ask our residents not to travel to. What I recommend that people do is that they look at their situation. Are you traveling to an area where you can mask, socially distance, and what's your plans while you're there? If you're able to return and check your temperature, watch your symptoms, those types of things, there's no formal quarantine when you arrive back to our area. But in certain circumstances, people need to be very conscientious and cautious. As far as one of the questions I've asked my students that call about, should I go to a trip right now, is are you able to be gone for your trip and then return and be possibly quarantined for 14 days because you are having symptoms? Sometimes that does make decisions for people because it's a month's time that they're looking out of their life. So again, very difficult questions. Each situation's different. So if you have questions about where you might be traveling and those types of things, give us a call. We'll be happy to talk with you and discuss what might work best for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next question is an admissions question, and it has to do with our placement test. It is, do the placement tests take place for the ACT scores? And the answer is no. We do offer 2 placement tests for English and math, and you can test out of some of our lower level courses with those. But we, like I said earlier, we're still going to need ACT scores for our students, our incoming freshmen under the age of 21. So if you're under the age of 21 and you're a freshman, you will have to have an ACT score. But if you want to test out of some of those lower level classes, you do have the option to take our placement test. The English is administered through the English department, and you sign up and schedule a time to come take that with them. And math is done online, and you can buy a code to take that through our bookstore. We've got about 10 minutes left, so we'll ask one more question of you, Dr. Van Galen, and then we'll wrap it up. This question says that you have mentioned several times that you would like to focus on the student experience here at Missouri Southern. What exactly does that mean, and how does COVID-19 change that?
Well, I think what it means, there are many parts of student success. It is about helping students transition to college. Many of our students are first-generation college students. I was also in that category. And what that means is you don't always know or have the help at home how to navigate enrolling, working with faculty, navigating the campus, time management. So that's kind of an initial part of helping students succeed. Certainly offering quality academic programs provided by outstanding faculty and staff. And really that is a fundamental part of helping our students succeed. I have already learned here at Missouri Southern, the faculty and staff care about students. They want them to be successful. They reach out to them as advisors, as teachers, as role models, as mentors. And so I want to foster that culture and that environment here further at Missouri Southern. I think also there's an aspect of what happens after you graduate. How can we best help our students identify possible career pathways to make choices along the way that leads to a career that they find exciting, successful, and fulfilling. And then if you go even further, we have tens of thousands of alumni. And, you really, when you start at Missouri Southern, you're joining a community, a family, and building relationships that will last your entire life. And I think that is something that I've already felt is very special here in Joplin at Missouri Southern. So all of that to me is connected to this idea of student success. In a COVID-19 environment, it will be different. We all understand that. And I think you can see from the conversations and questions and answers today, we are doing our very best to ensure quality education, but also an environment that's healthy and safe for our campus. But we are committed as best we can to offer that face-to-face engaging experience. And so that's what our goal is. That is what our plan is. To be successful, it will take all of us coming together, including our students who are joining our campus. We need to have an environment of mutual support, understanding, kindness, flexibility. Together, I know we can do that, and I know we're going to have an absolutely great academic year ahead.
Before we wrap up, I just want to remind our students that classes start August 17th and move-in starts the 14th and goes through the 16th. We are extremely excited to have you here on campus this fall. For any questions we might not have answered, be sure to check out the website and the COVID link at the top. It's got a lot of great Q&A questions set up there and a lot of good information, not only from the university, but from the CDC and other organizations as well. So with that, Dr. Van Galen, would you like to say some parting words for our incoming students?
Certainly. Just want to thank all of our incoming students for joining us today. We are excited to have you part of our family, to welcome you to campus this fall. We're here for you and just look forward to seeing many of you in the weeks ahead. So thanks for becoming part of Missouri Southern. Have a great day.